Das schaut schon geil aus, Alter. Hier kannst du bestimmt irgendeinen Rave machen oder so. Ich war nie auf dem Rave, aber... Ja. So. Was kann ich hier eigentlich machen? Hey, Kip. Guten Tag, entschuldige, habe ich gerade meditiert? Habe ich was verpasst? Achso, Ansehen. Ne, passt schon, alles gut. Das ist nur irgend so ein Ansehenskäse. Hallo? Achso. Das kam dann so schwer noch zur Altersfreigabe, ja. Wo ist denn der Alte eigentlich hin? An der Decke hängt er nicht? Oh, da hinten. Hä? Oh. Ich hätte nicht rausgesollt. Ups. Kann ich mich da hinporten? Oh, Glück gehabt.
Let's ride.
Tolltech.
I take it you're the ones appointed by Elder Talapo?
Yep, and you are...
Call me Toltec. The chief asked me to be your guide for the day. His messengers already filled me in on the situation. So just follow me.
Toltec hört sich an wie so eine Tech-Firma oder so. Toltec. Wir stellen PCs her. Oder programmieren. Erinnerung voller fließender Farben. Zweiter Akt. Legendäre Farbe. Das erinnert mich an die Farbe aus dem All. H.P. Lovecraft. Schaut's euch auf, oder hört's euch, ist ja ein Hörbuch. Hört's euch auf YouTube an. Das ist extra, auch mit den Stimmen und sonst irgendwas nachgemacht. Hammergeil. Atmosphäre, mega.
Try and stop me.
Geht, glaube ich, 1:40 oder so. Ich kann H.P. Lovecraft an sich immer empfehlen. Das sind zwar alte Stories, aber geile Stories. Was ist das?
So the guy is somewhere in this cave, huh?
This is as far as I can take you. Only the appointed ones may proceed from here.
Why's that?
Kind of a long story. Apparently, there's a certain fruit that grows in this cave, the juice of which can be processed to make an excellent dye. Many years ago, our ancestors set out to make a series of ambitious works of graffiti art. They selected this cave to make them in, presumably due to the availability of the dye. However, they didn't want anyone to see their work before it was completed, and so they sealed off the entrance to control access. To bypass the seal, you have to have mastered the art of color perception, or something like that.
Oh, right.
The strange thing is, our ancestors never removed the seal, even after they finished the graffiti art. Since it was sealed off, the only person who's been inside is the great shaman, Huitzilin, and that was 300 years ago. According to her, the artwork tells the story of a hero by the name of Kuntur. But I digress. Sorry, I'm a big fan of graffiti artwork. Once I get talking, I can go on for hours.
So you're sure you don't want to come with us?
I'll pass. I tried to get in once, but the seal blocked my way. I tried getting my Iktomi-sor to clear it with its powers, but even that didn't work. I guess it's supposed to be a test left there by our ancestors. If you don't pass the test, you're not worthy of viewing their works of art. Don't worry about me, though. I wouldn't be joining you this time even if I was able to get in. Unlike our chief, I don't have the guts to challenge our traditions. This task is specifically appointed to someone by the Iktomi-sor Elder. Who knows what bad things might happen if I got involved?
Fair enough. All right, we'll try not to take too long.
Okay. Hören wir mal auf mit den anderen Storys, machen wir weiter. So, jetzt bin ich endlich in der Höhle, Alter. Wo ich das letzte Mal... Da war ich schon, glaube ich, zweimal oder so und habe nicht gewusst, was ich machen soll. Kein Wunder, wenn das mit der Story zusammenhängt.
Looks like there's no way past. Maybe try the same thing as before? Hey, it worked! Let's head in and take a look. This should be the place. That fruit Toltec mentioned should be the one on the wall, right? Now the only question is, which ones do we pick?
Hier kommt wahrscheinlich meine spezielle Fähigkeit ins Spiel, die der Häuptling erwähnt hat.
Well, go ahead, try it out.
Höhle der Stille. Was ist das eigentlich? Ah, okay.
You saw something, right? Whatever it was, grab it.
Hä? Undeutliche Notiz. Wow.
These guys' ancestors made some real works of art here. But based on what we've seen so far, it seems like there should be more to the story. Do you think maybe there's more artwork further inside? Seems kinda strange.
Wir können reingehen und nachsehen, wenn du willst.
Oh, no need. Paimon was just thinking aloud. Toltec's waiting for us, and we have a job to do. So maybe it's best if we head out now. Let's head back and meet up with Toltec.
Was ist damit? Hä?
Full throttle! All right.
Hey Toltec, was hast du entwickelt?
We're back, and we found the ingredients for the dye.
Sounds like you made it through the seal then. Our Iktomi-sor Elder was right about you. It's getting late. Follow me. I'll take us back.
Warum muss ich jetzt selber raufen, wenn er uns zurückbringen wollte? Toll, danke. Für nix. Ha? Ich wollte zu dem Ding. Hey, was soll denn das? Jetzt. Hä? Warum bin ich jetzt immer bei dem oben gelandet? Jetzt wird er seinen komischen Mantel anzogen hat. Hey, Riese.
Toltec has updated me on your progress. Well done. I appreciate your efforts.
Sure thing. Here's the stuff for the dye.
I see. Yes. This is certainly a very different substance from typical dyes. Okay, now let's try our hand at making some samples. The fabric is ready for testing.
Got it.
Please come with me.
Die verarschen mich doch alle. Alle erzählen sie mir was von mitkommen und dann... Und dann gehen sie doch ohne mich. Warum ist sie da?
Take a look at this. It's a woven scroll made by one of our ancestors.
Ooh.
The person depicted is the legendary shaman Huitzilin. She lived 200 years ago and was once appointed by the Iktomi-Sur Elder, like yourselves. She was especially skilled in the art of color manipulation, and of course completed her task with flying colors. This scroll is a record of her deeds, and was most likely the work of her own hand. The quality is simply breathtaking, even compared to other scrolls of this variety. Sadly, since she passed away, all of our Iktomi-Sur Elder's subsequent appointees have had to rely on the gift from the spirits to complete their work.
Aber jetzt stehst du kurz davor, eine alte Tradition zu neuem Leben zu erwecken.
That's a good way of putting it. My only quibble with your phrasing would be, it's not just me, but us.
Now Paimon's getting excited.
Keiner will mit dem Traveler reisen.
Bring out the
Stimmt.
samples.
Japan? Nee, ist ein chinesisches Spiel.
Now, as I mentioned, the dyeing process is a little complicated, but I am confident you will manage. Just make sure to follow my instructions carefully.
Machen wir, lass uns beginnen.
The pattern has already been sketched out on the sample, so you just need to dye each block with the correct color. But you'll need to wait for the dye to fully soak in between each step to make sure the colors don't run.
Den Stoff nach Einweisung färben.
Ha ha ha! Good! The dye has taken to the fabric, and the pattern is crisp and clear. Next, apply all the remaining dye, and we should see that elusive signature color emerge.
Okay, final step.
Restliche Farbe auftragen.
Did it work? Paimon doesn't see it.
Oh, that color isn't showing up. Oh, the dyeing has failed.
Habe ich irgendwas falsch gemacht?
No, your technique was flawless. You did everything exactly as instructed. It would have made no difference if I'd done it myself.
Then what went wrong?
It could be the weaving technique, or maybe the dye has to be applied in a different way. Oh, whatever the case, it looks like I have failed to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Sorry, Paimon wishes we could do more to help.
I am the one who should be apologizing. I made you do so much work, and it was for nothing. I will, of course, honor my commitment to compensate you for your trouble, but I do hope you won't give up on this task. I plan to keep investigating, and will be sure to keep you updated with any progress.
Don't worry, we're not quitters. Paimon does have a question, though. This whole process of recording history on woven scrolls seems so complicated. Why don't you just write it down instead? You said yourself you're all about change and reform. Well, this seems like a pretty good place to start, don't you think? Writing things down would be easier for everyone, and your records would be more detailed.
I think you've perhaps misunderstood my philosophy, but that's okay. I can answer your question, but there's somewhere I need to show you first.
Oh, sure.
Du nimmst mich eh wieder nicht mit, oder? Arschloch. Warum sind jetzt eigentlich so viele? Ich dachte, man kommt hier nicht so raus einfach. Ist schon ein geiles Bild, ey. Wo soll ich eigentlich hin? China okay, aber sieht man häufig bei japanischen Animes. Ja, so Outfits sind auch Standard für Animes und so Zeug. Oh, ich soll oben auf wieder.
Bring it.
Ganz hoch? Scheiße.
Let's ride. Burn it down.
Schöne Musik.
Cool. Look at this view. What do you think?
It's gorgeous!
Now, try looking a little further.
Whoa, that graffiti!
In all the years since the founding of our tribe, those colors have been with us every step of the way.
Sind wir nicht ganz oben? Wie sehen sie denn das?
It is true that I seek to
okay.
bring new life to this ancient tribe through change and reform. But I also understand there are certain foundational things that we cannot afford to throw away. The foremost of these is the way we record our history.
Oh, that makes sense.
Since the very beginnings, our tribe has always sought to bring color to history. And I have a deep sense that this is one part of our heritage that we should not give up. So, whatever it takes, I must find a way for us to continue producing our traditional woven scrolls.
You're completely right. Paimon's sorry for what she said earlier. It was out of line.
It's quite all right. I'm just grateful you're able to understand where I'm coming from.
Wir sind fest entschlossen, dir bei der Lösung zu helfen.
Then let us hope that when we next meet, we succeed in reviving this tradition.
Legendäre Farbe, 2. Akt abgeschlossen. Warte mal, ich habe da was gesehen, da. Ich habe heute ein 5 Stunden Video geschaut mit Einzelnen durch ganz Amerika, was ich dabei befremdlich fand, dass dann so viele Leute Sauna kannten in Parks und so weiter. Ja, Amerika ist glaube ich da nicht so mit Datenschutz und sowas. Ist in den meisten Ländern glaube ich so, dass es den Scheiß interessiert. Vergiss nicht die Zeitumstellung von 2 auf 3. Ach, als ob man noch irgendwas hat, was das nicht automatisch macht. Warum sind jetzt da fucking Fatui
What
unterwegs?
are the Fatui doing here? That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to. Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement?
Nur wenn wir bedenken, was der Kapitän für Natlan getan hat.
Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically makes them followers of one of Natlan's heroes. Still, once a Fatus, always a Fatus. Something seems off seeing them here. Let's go check it out.
Rettung von fließende Farben, 3. Akt. Wahrheit über die Schlacht der 7 Farben. Also, wie hat das Spiel nochmal geheißen? Mir fällt der Name nicht mehr ein. Da gab es so ein Spiel, gibt's doch so ein Spiel auf der Switch.
What are you guys doing here?
Following orders. If you have a problem, take it up with our employer.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work for a private employer?
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. I'm sorry for any offense. My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok and his squad. I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in Natlan is quite positive.
So that's what happened. Then you must be from Fontaine?
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service. I work in the publication business. And you two... Wait, you must be the traveler and his fairy companion.
Oh, you know us?
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. There's no mistake. Your exploits in Fontaine have all the makings of a best-selling series. I'd be a failure of a book merchant if I couldn't recognize you.
Wow, we're really famous at this point, Traveler.
It's truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two. You see, I have a favor to ask.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan? That's a little creepy.
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise you.
Well, at least he got straight to the point.
Schaut aus,
Should
wie
we
wenn
hear
er,
what he has to say?
schaut aus, wie wenn er einen über den Tisch ziehen will, irgendwie. So wirkt er. Irgendwas sagt mir, dass wir aus der Sache nicht mehr rauskommen.
Alright, we'll hear your request.
Das ist so anders, wie so ein König oder so.
You know the great shaman Sitlali, right? I need her help with something.
Yeah, but the chances of her helping a random stranger just because we asked?
Bei ihrer Persönlichkeit ziemlich gering.
Yeah,
Endlich geht's mal zur Sache.
really doesn't like dealing with strangers.
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could convince her, it would be the golden-haired traveler.
Scheiß Verräter.
If you manage it, I'll even double your pay.
Warum benötigt er ihre Hilfe?
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of that first.
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Allier, if you could.
Of course. I don't often have an eager audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Allier. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur Montluçon's team. Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Huitzilin?
Das war doch die mit den Farben gearbeitet hat.
Yes. According to local records, she was a color mystic who lived over 200 years ago, and the most adept in her tribe at using that particular technique. Out of all of her exploits, her most celebrated is the Battle of 7 Colors. According to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion, one of the most brutal in Natlan's history. Even amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color Huitzilin created on the battlefield. The color was extraordinary, illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend has it that Huitzilin used the color to construct a magnificent maze on the battlefield and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a counterattack and ultimately secure victory.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time. That story is the reason I came to Natlan. I often publish books about the history of other nations. They always end up faring well on the market. When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next collection, but Historical records about Natlan aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine where the battle took place, or find any definitive evidence that it occurred at all. Even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of the story. Some believe it to be a myth. If that were the case, the story would not be fit for publication.
But if you're just including it in a story collection, why does it matter if it never happened?
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is Restoring the Truth of History. Naturally, I need it to be factual. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording past events, so I wanted to consult their records. But I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few ordinary woven scrolls with nothing to offer. Honestly, I'm just trying to promote their history, and they make such a fuss.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Naturally, outsiders are rarely granted access. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of information. I just need more time, and I could...
We've been over this, Allier. There's no need to waste time on those scrolls when we have a better way.
Citlali, you mean?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Citlali has been alive for more than 200 years. That means she lived during the era of the Battle of Seven Colors. If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical records are necessary.
Oh, that's what you want.
So, what do you say? I'll quadruple the pay if it helps sweeten the deal.
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you.
Palmer, wir sollten sie wirklich fragen gehen.
Oh, right. The duty the chief gave us has a lot to do with wheat sealing. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in the right direction. All right, we'll help you convince Citlali. Just let us do the talking, okay?
Of course.
Er ist ein arroganter Wichser, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Wenn er wirklich über die Geschichte was erfahren will, dann lest die scheiß Rollen, ey. Das wirkt halt wie einer, wie wenn er bloß einfach nur Kohle machen will, der elende Penner.
Light it up.
Ah, da.
So, this is where the great shaman lives? A bit far from civilization, isn't it? I hope the person who pointed us in this direction wasn't mistaken.
For someone like Citlali, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down,
We're here for a reason, Allier. As agreed, you two can do the talking, and we'll wait for you here.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully she's not hungover. Citlali? Are you there? We need your help with something. Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home.
Versuchen wir es mit einem anderen Namen.
Oh, Granny Eatsley? Are you home?
Typ wird plötzlich aufgeschlagen, der stechende Griff von Igo schlägt ihr ins Gesicht.
Hey, kid! If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first.
Alter, wie schaut's da drin aus? Citlali ist ein richtiger Stubenmocker, hm?
Traveler!
Plötzlich schließt sich die Tür.
Looks like we came at a bad time.
Are you
still there? Just come in. We can talk inside.
Well, at least we didn't get turned away.
Das hätte jetzt auch selber reingehen können. Warum muss ich jetzt extra F drücken, damit ich reingehe?
So this is where Seat Lolly lives.
Ihr Kissen.
I didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Menial housework means nothing to a great shaman like myself. Besides, in light novels, people who keep everything neat and tidy are always too boring to be the protagonists. Also, I'm not a hermit. I'm just above superficial rules of societal etiquette.
Hat es jetzt absichtlich weggekickt?
She sure does care a lot about what we think of her.
Oh, and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you, you're not still, experiencing the side effects, are you? It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? Nope. It's been so long, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
Then why do I hear the traveler's thoughts in my head?
What?
Oh, sie hat gehört, wie ich sie Stubenhocker genannt habe und das stört sie. Ich dachte, sie steht einfach über der oberflächlichen Regeln der sozialen Etikette.
I can still hear you, you know.
Es tut mir leid, falls ich dich beleidigt haben sollte.
Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First you hear my thoughts, now I'm hearing your thoughts. It was just a simple spell. I use it on you, and now it's on the Fritz. Forget it. Just tell me why you're here.
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant. They have questions about the history of Natlan.
So they asked the hero of Natlan to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself with other people's problems.
The pay is really good.
Doesn't matter. I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. Paimon knew this wouldn't get us anywhere.
Wie sähe es aus, wenn die bitte von mir käme?
From you?
Yeah, we were given a sacred duty to help your tribe weave a special scroll.
Huh? So, you're the appointed ones this time?
We were surprised too. After all, we have no idea how to weave a scroll like that. But with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some progress. We still haven't succeeded, but we learned that the key to weaving the scroll is a special kind of color. The historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. If you help them, you might end up helping us too. She's giving us that face again. Did Paimon not explain things clearly?
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if it was foreshadowed all along.
Does that mean you won't help us?
I need to think about it.
Then there's still hope.
Hey, what's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
Oh, wow.
You agreed to let us do the talking.
Uh-oh.
Seat Lolly.
Silali läuft unvermittelt hinaus und ihr Alt hinterher.
Stand down, Grudok. As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then you wait.
Understood.
You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance. Grudok is a recent hire, so difficult to restrain sometimes.
He's lucky he didn't force Seat Lolly's hand.
Well, Since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you have any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your little performance? I have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I was about to make an important decision. Pull a trick like that again, and I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse. That's all I came out here to say.
Whoa.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Eatsley. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have a personal interest in this matter, don't you? I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. You two must have been close.
Ah, du überschreitest eine Grenze, die du nicht tun solltest.
If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Tevat will learn the truth. With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
Oh, ich mach den Typ überhaupt nicht, Alter. Du wirst mir bei deiner Hilfe meine Mission zu erfüllen.
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just have to leech what you can.
Well, at least she agreed to help.
Das ganze Haus zahlt sich meine Freundschaft mit Citlali endlich aus. Sie ist wohl kein herzloser Typ. Freilich nicht. Ah, du Idiot, Alter, sie kann nicht...
calling heartless?
Not a problem. I always plan to work with the Traveler. So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place? Can you think of any relics we could use to prove it?
Talk at me, why don't you?
Das würde ich auch gern wissen. Oh.
Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. I've lived a long time, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers if I'm familiar with the subject.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, you still lived through that era. Your insights are very valuable. Allie, you had an idea about where to start, yes?
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the members of the tribe in charge of recording history.
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all, it appears I can only get Miss Citlali's help through you.
Kein Problem. Und was sollte die Frage? Sie ist doch nicht herzlos. Freilich ist sie nicht herzlos, Alter. Sollen sie mittlerweile auch gemerkt haben. Sie ist nur speziell.